Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Couch Coaches. I'm John Lazaron and I'm joined by my good friend Richard Villaletti. How's it going, bro? It's been a while.
It has, bro. Yeah, it feels like it's been an eternity since the NRL's finished and that amazing grand final, or final 20 minutes in particular. There's just been plenty of other sport to sort of tie us over in the time being. So I think it's quite a fitting time to sort of have a quick catch up and talk about a few things NRL, Warriors, and sport related.
Fair enough. Yeah, we did say to you, or who you're listening, we did say that we will do this. Maybe have like a one-off episode where we'll cover the Kiwis, etc., and also things that are happening, within the All Blacks, Black Caps, etc., and some Warriors news. As we know, as we all know, Warriors fans know, there's been a bit of movement around there in the news front there. But before we go into anything, mate, I need to ask you, because we haven't had a proper talk about this, is grand final. You were the lucky bugger that got to go to the grand final, and it was a thrilling game. I don't know how the heck Penrith clawed their way back from, where they were at halftime, but that last 20 minutes where Cleary just put on a masterpiece, how was it being there, in the stand? And also, when you get a moment, tell us what you did prior to the game as well.
Well, yeah, what I did prior to the game had quite a bit of influence on how much I enjoyed the game. So yeah, there was a couple of ice cold beers sort of consumed throughout the weekend. Actually, it was about 30. I think it was about 35 degrees in Sydney that day, so it was hot. But yeah, it was incredible. That the first half was intense. Like I think it was at 6-8 at halftime. Sort of, Penrith looked in control, but the Broncos just weren't giving in, and then Fletcher scored that try sort of close to halftime, and you thought, okay, this is going to be closer. It sort of thought that Penrith only 8-0 up, but it just seemed like they were in control of the game. But yeah, when I don't know what Kiwi Walters said in the sheds at halftime, but the Broncos came in absolutely firing. Ezra Mann, that hat trick, it was just electric. We were sitting sort of behind the posts where he scored that hat trick. And yeah, there was a lot of Broncos fans there. I was surprised. You would have thought there was almost more Broncos fans than Penrith fans. But the atmosphere was just incredible. I was proudly wearing my Warriors jersey. Plenty of Warriors fans there. It was great walking around the sort of stadium and just high-fiving to everyone. The spirits were high. There's a lot of up the wires going out. A lot of next year's our year sort of been thrown out there. So it was great. But yeah, there was a few Broncos fans around me that I was kind of bantering with, and then as when the Broncos got up, it looked like they were sort of home and hosed. They were getting a bit lippy, and then as the game wore on, you just sort of saw their body language go down. I sort of ran up to wind one of them up at one point, and they weren't having a bar of it. So I kept my distance. And then some guy came from nowhere and tried to push me down the stairs at full time. So him and then his missus threw a drink at me. So I didn't even know these guys. Yeah, I don't know where they came from. They were sort of sitting a few rows behind us, but it obviously just seen me running around getting a bit lippy. So I ran up to all the Broncos people that I've been giving a hard time at the end of the game and just gave them a hug and just said, hey, I feel fit. Like it was. Yeah. They were just absolutely. They were speechless. They were just like, I don't know what to say. That was just. I was celebrating, but that's NRL, and yeah, I mean, it'll probably go down as one of the sort of most incredible grand final performances from Nathan Cleary. It was, a try assist to try and the 40-20 in the final 20 minutes, or probably 16 minutes, I think. So it was just when he broke through the line and scored that final try, it was just. Wow. Yeah. Amazing.
I don't know how he did that, but to be honest, if any side was going to do it, it would be Penrith. And I actually wanted Penrith to win. I wanted them to win. I know Broncos hadn't won the title for a while, but there was no way I wanted them to claim it, especially when they just gave us a lot of stick as well. I think I wanted Penrith to do it, and they did it. And good on them, because that was just like I said earlier, a masterclass from Cleary, and Leota was awesome on that day as well. He was the man. He was the man on that day. So, but I actually saw a video of you on a boat, and a few beers was more than a few beers, and you were sitting there, bit of karaoke. You're singing out loud to someone, to one of your mates there on the boat. And did you know that you were being filmed at the time? Because yeah, I caught that image of you, just that footage, sorry, of you singing out loud to everybody on the boat.
Oh, the boat trip was amazing. So we took a boat there on the way to and from the game. We got dropped off maybe 15, 20-minute walk away. We bussed to the game on the way there, and we just walked back to the sort of to the pickup point on the way back. But yeah, no, there was a few songs going on the way there. We just had some pretty casual music, but on the way home the spirits were so high that the sing along started coming out. I think it was Backstreet Boys. I Want It That Way was the song that I got busted singing along to. But there's plenty more those videos in the personal collection, so maybe I'll pop them up on the Couch Coaches page one day for the listeners to.
I was just gonna say you better do that, because I want people to see what I saw, and especially when it's Backstreet Boys. My wife loves Backstreet Boys, and
there was some bangers coming out. We had Backstreet Boys. We had the Goosebumps theme song that came out at one point. Bit of Taylor Swift. It was some Jimmy Barnes. We had it all. We had it all.
Did Simply the Best come out?
10. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
right.
and a couple of other Jimmy Barnes songs. Working Class Man. I think K-San made an appearance as well. Bit of Dave Job and Loyal. Yeah, it was just great. Though it was, as I said before, it was just beautiful weather. And the boat trip was just great. Yeah, so shout out to Lance at I think it's Majestic Water Taxis is the name. So if you're ever in Sydney and looking for a water taxi to an event, give Lance a call and he'll sort you out. He'll show you a good time.
All right. Well, I guess we'll tag him in this one once we get this up there. But yeah. So awesome, mate. It sounds like a good time. I mean, as most people know who listen to this will know that I actually bought a ticket as well, but I sold it. Yeah. I wasn't going to make the trip over if the Warriors going to make it. I didn't go as far as Richard, mate, here. My mate Richard here. So, but it sounds like it was an awesome experience, and I'm still waiting for the day where I get to do it, because I want to go to a grand final when the Warriors are in the grand final. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll go one day if Warriors aren't there, but just not for now. Not for now, especially with a lot going on here with my role with the Hurricanes and stuff. There's so much going on, but. Anyway, we'll move on from that. There's, as you mentioned, there's a lot of sports happening at the moment. All Blacks. Did you see them making the final, the World Cup final against Springboks? Did you even see them, especially after that first game against France?
Yeah. No. I mean, they're there, but they've only really won one game, haven't they? It was the Ireland game's the only game they've won, which mattered and meant anything. Yeah. And it was an incredible game, rugby. It was one of the best games of rugby I've probably ever seen. It sort of had it all. Some good open running footies, great tries, some incredible defence. What was it, 37 plays that Ireland had at the end, wasn't it?
38 to 40 phases or something like that.
Yeah, and then the next day that France South Africa game was probably even better. I thought, that was. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that. It was on the Monday morning, but it was.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that was an exciting game to watch. So, once I saw those two games, it was quite clear that I thought that New Zealand and South Africa would be in the final. But South Africa made it a lot harder than they probably would have anticipated. But they got the job done.
Yeah, well,
something tells me it's South Africa. It was all part of their plan. They were like, we'll just be behind for the whole game, and then we'll force a scrum penalty from 50 meters out, and then kick a penalty to win the game by 1 point.
I mean, well, with Sagina being South African, it's a bit of intent. There's a bit of tension going on in this place right now.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want her to know this, so hopefully she doesn't listen to this. But I was actually sort of quietly going for England on the day. So she's upstairs right now, so I hope she can't hear me. So
yeah, I would say that, but I just don't like England at all. And actually, I've got a bit of a soft spot for the South African rugby team, so it's going to be great. I mean, it's going to be a great final. We'll have to be good, because that South African team just sort of knows how to win. We obviously beat them earlier in the year, and then they came back and smashed us in that game. at Twickenham. So we're going to need a lot from the team. There's been a lot of talk about the bomb squad, the South African, the reserves. So our reserves, I can't remember, our reserves have given themselves a name. It was a bit lame, to be honest, I thought. But
easy something, Papali'i.
Yeah. Sort of read the article. I was like, oh, it's a bit lame.
Yeah, but it's like, for example, like, I mean, the one game, like you said, the one game that we did win that meant the most was the Irish game, and we were outstanding. And South Africa, this sort of scraped through against France and against England, but I think it's going to be a cracker of a game. And the thing is that the South Africans are coming out and they're saying that, because like the way the media works is they'll come out and they'll try and bring up the history, which is recent history, which is the 35-7 match. But South Africans, they're saying that that's just history. It won't mean for nothing on the final, because one thing is that the All Blacks had won just a month before. They had demolished South Africa. They dominated South Africa. And I was at the game, and that's the thing, is that people forget. They tend to forget that is whoever turns up on the day, especially when it comes to South Africa, New Zealand. And I actually think that it's going to be a cracker of a game. But I'm actually thinking New Zealand will, and not just because obviously I'm a Kiwi, but I'm actually thinking the All Blacks will pip them. My prediction right now, 21-15. What's yours?
I think South Africa by 1 again. They've won the last 2 weeks by 1 point, so maybe like there'll probably be a few points, maybe like a 24-23, however that's going to work out.
Well,
South Africa.
To South Africa.
Yeah. I think that one.
A-hole. What the heck?
Well, I don't want them to win, but I think they will.
Nah, fair enough.
I'm not as emotionally attached to the All Blacks as I am to some other sports teams in this country, 2 of which are also playing this weekend as well. So.
Yep, which is fair enough, and we'll get to that as well. So All Blacks. So you're picking South Africa. I've got the All Blacks, but it's going to be a cracker of a weekend, because you got the Black Caps playing Australia as well, and the Black Caps have been impressive at the World Cup as well. I've watched most of their games. I've tried to stay awake for most of them, and I have not succeeded. But I've watched them all, and watched them all on highlights. Sorry, and I just think they're just playing some good cricket. Ravinda, I keep on forgetting. I always keep thinking Sachin Tendulkar. How he
Rahul Dravid,
I just keep getting the name wrong, but he's been doing, Russian Ravinda. Yeah, but he's doing so well, and he looks his form and his technique is amazing, and for me, it's so good to see that, because he's so young. This means that the future is good for us batting wise. Seeing that sort of stuff, and then when they played against India, they lost to India, but it wasn't by like a big amount and stuff like that. And I still think they're in a good spot. They're in a good spot.
Yeah, the Indian game was a bit frustrating. I did watch the whole first innings, and we were cruising. We sort of lost a couple of early wickets, but then Ravindra and Mitchell had that incredible partnership. And it was just sort of well spaced out. They weren't really doing anything silly. And then no one else could really do much after that. It was kind of a shame. So I think we ended up getting about 280 odd, but we probably should have got at least 300. If we'd got that extra 20-30 runs, then that could have been the difference. I think India took 48 overs to get the total. So it just put it, as soon as you hit 300, it just puts a bit more pressure on. So, but they will have to be good this weekend, because Australia sort of, after having a bit of a slow start, they look like they're back to their winning ways. Massive 300-run victory against the Netherlands overnight.
They needed it, because their net run rate was poor, and they needed that. And see, the thing is that even with that win, their net run rate still hasn't gone above the Black Caps.
Yeah,
I was checking it earlier. So the Black Caps have a good, healthy run rate, which is awesome, with 4 wins. And the thing is that what the teams like Afghanistan and The Netherlands, when they've beaten some of the other teams, what that did is that it actually helped, the cause of for like the top 4 teams, because it means that there's more of a bit of a gap, breathing space there. So that's actually helped. But I'm looking forward to the Australia game. I think Australia, they think they're back in it, but I think that they need to play a better team to figure out where they are at, to be honest. And England are just out of sorts. I mean, I'm surprised. I thought England would be like on fire in this tournament, and they just have been just firing darts.
So good to see, isn't it? I mean,
don't get me wrong, I'm loving it. Yeah, I love it. If there's one team in the cricketing world, two teams in the cricket, actually 3 actually, because the teams that I love to see crash and burn in cricket is Australia, England, and India.
Yeah,
and
the big 3.
The big 3, because the thing is that the most arrogant players and fans as well. The fans do my head in, especially the Indian fans. They do my head in, and the way no matter what happens, every game,
Kohli.
Kohli, and then they flip and mock, and then all they do is go on like social media chats just to have a go at Baba Azam. They Pakistan players. It just does my head in, and every post.
I'm team King Baba.
Yeah, exactly, and they've got no creativity either when it comes to like putting messages up. They all say the same thing. They just repeat each other.
Yeah,
India is the best. India is the best. We're not going to lose any games. Like, shut up! You say that every flipping tournament, and look where it gets you.
Yeah,
but you still say it every year.
The Black Caps will swoop in and still beat you in the semi-final. So
exactly. The thing is that, but they say that for every game or no matter what series you're in or tournament you're in, they say it. Yeah, and they don't win. They don't win, and they could win this where they went. They're on home turf. They could win it. They're looking really good, but it's just like makes it hard viewing when getting into it when the fans are like that. The stadiums are pretty empty as well for a lot of the games, except for the India ones. So yeah, it's interesting. And I read an article about how they the police had to had to tell a Pakistani fan to stop saying certain things because he was a Pakistani fan. And I was just like, this is so wrong. This is so wrong. Why can't he chant his things, for his own country? If you want to host a tournament.
I think this World Cup's the first time that Pakistan's actually played in India for like a stupid amount of years, eh? So there's obviously a lot of history there, a lot of politics between those 2 countries. Yes, I can imagine there'd definitely be a few comments in the stands, but it's been a great tournament so far. I've been really enjoying sort of keeping an eye on it. Great to see England going down. We look good. We got a good squad, I think. It's a shame that it's kind of a bit of a dying format, because it's if the Test cricket's not my favourite, then I still like ODIs probably 10 times more than I like 2020s. So
yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that one.
Got a great ODI squad, I think. Well balanced out. So yeah, I hope that the ODIs don't die off. But it's sort of been funny to see, because England's kind of just like they've just forgotten about ODIs recently. Like Stokes hasn't been playing. He's come back freshly for the tournament, and it's shown. Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen all the comments on social media about how the second string kind of ODI team, do they even deserve to be in the World Cup? It's so good. You just love to see it.
There's a lot of excuses come out of the English team and fans when it comes to when they're not doing well. So yeah, like you said, it's good to see. But let's get back into the real sport. Well, actually, that's actually a really sad thing for me to say, because I actually love cricket. I love cricket and stuff, and I love rugby as well. But love my rugby league, and the Pacific Championship's happening. Samoa's played 2 games, one against Australia where they lost. Then they had a game against the Kiwis, which they were dominated from pretty much the get-go. Well, actually, that's not true, because at the first 12 minutes, it was really, really like a bit of an arm wrestle, wasn't it? For the first 15 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah.
There wasn't much points scored.
I think it potentially took us, because it was that disallowed try to Mills. Oh no, that was the second. That would have been the second try. Yeah, I mean they kind of started off exciting, and they were kind of throwing the ball around, but they just started making a few errors, and then the Kiwis they looked like they've been. They didn't look like a team that had been the first game together for 12 months, and there was quite a few guys who were playing their first first game, or the likes of sort of Kieran Foran, who I think he was in the World Cup squad but didn't get too much time. Him and Nubaran sort of rotating in the hooker spot there.
He was my player of the match. I thought Foran was outstanding. I thought he was outstanding. It's hard for him not to be having even the number 6 jersey, because he played so well for the Titans. He did so well, and but Jerome Hughes there. I think Jerome Hughes is only there because Sean Johnson's not there. That's what I think, honestly. But he still played really well. But
Hughes was probably my player of the game. I thought Hughes was awesome as well. Yeah, and Brown.
Yeah, they were both amazing. And Kieran Foran, for me though, I was just monitoring him and his play, and I'm glad they started with him, and I'm glad that for this game against Australia they're starting with him again. Yeah, I thought he was amazing. One thing where he got put on his backside from a hit. I can't remember who ran it up and ran it into him, and he went flying. But other than that, I thought he just had an amazing game, and I just thought all around the team was good. And that haka.
When that happened, it was sort of like, oh, this is going to be interesting, and maybe Samoa will just pump themselves up a little bit more from it. I think it was just after the Hackers, and I think it was because. What did you think of Sean Johnson commentating, by the way?
I thought he was pretty good. I thought he was pretty natural.
Yeah, I thought he was really good. Like he just sort of knew when to speak, and he had really good insight, and he's very well spoken, I think. So, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was just like he's got a nice voice to listen to. He's calm. There's a lot of these commentators these days who kind of scream down the microphone, and they just kind of I don't really like the whole screaming. I sort of enjoy more kind of like good analysis, and so it's nice to see a player who can. He's obviously trying to set himself up for a future in broadcasting. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him.
What sports star doesn't get a broadcasting contract after they've finished up? Nice
to hear someone who's actually good at doing it, as opposed to half the bloody drongos you hear.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, for us, you and me, who are both in media and comms, and we love sports, but it's never going to happen, even if we tried, because we're not a former NRL player or stuff. So it's just the way it goes these days. But you're right. He's actually good at it, whereas the other players, like who do you think is probably the worst? I mean, do you like Steve? Do you like Blocker Roach? What do you think of Blocker Roach when he commentates?
Oh, I can't stand Blocker.
Yeah, there's a lot of people can't stand him. So yes,
he hates. I think it's more just that he hates the Warriors, and he can't pronounce half the bloody Pacific Island. He can't pronounce half the Pacific Island players in the NRL, which is pretty bad. I
like Andrew Boss.
Oh, Vossi. I mean, Vossi's been great for years. I loved when he came to the Warriors. Actually, I think it was just 1 year or 2 years, but. Always make sure I go when I'm at Mount Smart. I always make sure I go get a Fritz Wiener, because I remember Vossi used to always talk about them when he was commentating for the Warriors.
Yeah.
I mean, and I had Warren Smith as well. I don't mean that's probably those guys who aren't ex NRL players who are the better ones. But like Brandy, I don't mind Brandy and Alexander, and I quite like sort of Thurston's more kind of like he just comes on the sort of like post pre-match sort of analysis stuff, but he brings a bit, like, he's so charismatic, but then he's obviously got really good insight into the game as well. So
it's rare sometimes. I don't know about you, but I find it sometimes rare to even hear the Channel 9 commentators team, because commentary team, because usually it's usually Fox, they're doing it all, but it'd be good to hear Channel 9 sometimes. But go back to the haka. I loved when Nelson and was it Spencer? Nelson and Spencer, when they had the showdown, the boxing showdown. But it was awesome from Nelson to respect that after, when they actually shook hands and stuff after, sort of thing. So
yeah. Oh no, it was good. It set the scene for the game. But I think maybe somehow got a little bit too pumped up from it, and just.
Oh, I think so too. I agree.
They weren't able to, and I suppose once the sort of Kiwis start piling some points on, you could see from their body language, they just weren't caring as much. And they just had some cool, they were trying, but calls. It wasn't like that calls weren't going their way. It was more probably just the bounce of the ball wasn't going their way. Like there was, they sort of got pretty close to the try line on a couple of occasions, but it wasn't to be. And, the Kiwis look great. So I mean, it's a good. They probably would have wanted a bit more of a challenge, having Australia this week, but they won't be complaining about that performance.
Well, hopefully they've got like a bit more looser tops so Joseph Manu's shirt doesn't get ripped off again.
I honestly hardly even noticed Manu playing in that game. He just, I don't know whether it's because he wasn't really needed. Obviously he was playing at fullback last year and he was everywhere for the Kiwis. But I don't know whether it's a fact that he's wasted at centre or whether he just. I mean, the ball was going to the left a lot as well. Sort of the way that Hughes was playing, he was sort of drifting off to the left and sort of controlling that side pretty well. And then when it was going to the right, because Manu was playing on the right, wasn't he? Yeah. Azako, he jumped over for a couple of tries, and he could see Azako continue on his good form from a great season with the Dolphins.
Awesome, yeah. And I was really happy to see Matt Tomoko out there as well. When I saw him play, he plays for Newcastle, right? And
Tomoko, no, he plays for Canberra, doesn't he?
Oh, Canberra. My bad. Sorry, my bad. But his when I was watching him during the regular season, he had some good. He was every time he had the ball in hand, he was awesome. And seeing him playing in the Kiwis, he did the same thing. It was awesome. He's got a big future, in my opinion. And good to see him do that.
Great debut. I had him sort of jotted down as one to mention. I think, the three players I had to sort of mention were him, Hughes, and Osako. The forwards kind of did their job, but no one probably really stood out too much. And Tomoko probably only got that shot because Chris was in. Chris was suspended, Sebastian Chris. So
I'll choose him over Chris. I mean, I'll choose him over Chris any day.
He definitely didn't do himself any favours, and it's good to see him. Yeah, he's playing in the number 3 jersey again this week. But it looks like it's a relatively unchanged team this week, I think.
Yeah, I'm just going through it right now.
Didn't Nakora play last week? Today, yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. So it's an unchanged side, and Kieran Foran again. I just thought for me he was the player of the match for me. It was Kieran Foran. I thought he was outstanding. He's obviously a veteran, but he's just getting better as every year goes by. He's getting better and better. So he was at the Warriors at one point and didn't go too well there. But man, imagine if he was there right now, partnering up with Sean Johnson, that would be pretty good. But he's not. He's at the Titans, and so we'll leave it at that. But go to predictions before we go into some more Warrior stuff. Predictions: Kiwis versus Kangaroos. Everyone's calling it the Kangaroos B team because they've dropped some players like Yo and Martin, but I still think you can't call Australia a B team because they've always got players that can just step into any position on that starting 13. But I'm still going to give the Kiwis the win here by 2 points.
Yeah, I like the Kiwis. I mean, it's never going to be easy against Australia. Just to say it's a B team is a huge call. I'm just looking through it.
I've heard a lot of people say it. I'm not saying it's a B team. I'm not saying it's a lot of people have been saying it.
You look at the spine for starters. Tedesco, Munster, Cherry Evans, and Hunt. I mean, I'm sure Tedesco is probably not the best one in the game, but he's still a pretty decent player. Munster and Cherry Evans are arguably, like the best 6 and 7 in the game. Probably, for Cherry Evans with Cleary in front of him, and then Hunt at 9. I mean, you see what he does at Origin. He plays that role brilliantly, and then they've got Harry Grant come off the bench. So, it's a good Aussie team, but it's a really good Kiwis team. I liked what I saw last week, and I think they've probably got more to play for here. So, I think I'm happy to bet the Kiwis in a tight one.
Yep, me too. All right, awesome. Well, let's go to the big news of the day. People saw it coming. People didn't know whether it was a rumor. People didn't know if it was true. I remember seeing a post with the Mad Butcher saying that he spoke to Josh Curran before he went on his holiday, and he said, "Oh no, I'm staying put." So some people were like, "No, those are just rumors," but all confirmed today. Josh Curran is moving over to the Bulldogs, and for me, and I mentioned this on the Facebook, on a Facebook post that it was a very sad day for me. I thought I love Josh Curran, and a lot of people do, and I just think it was a sad day for Warriors. I mean, I read the comments from Cameron George, and the reason why they said to him, "Look, well, we probably won't be able to sign you beyond 2024. You can see out the season, but we probably won't be able to do that." So I'm glad. I like how the Warriors are quite upfront with their players. So they gave him a chance to try and secure his future. They weren't just letting him go because they didn't like him there. They just didn't have the money for him, and unfortunately he's going because I still think that I personally would have loved to have him there. I think he deserves a place more than other players in the squad. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's especially with the fact Sarinen's gone as well. It seems.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem bizarre. Like, I'm not surprised at all. I think with with Jackson Ford kind of being the revelation that he was last year, I think he was hardly even a first grader. Jackson Ford was, and then he sort of just stepped up last year and was one of the keys to that sort of Warriors forward pack. And then Curran just got pushed down the pecking order. I think he's definitely deserves to be a starting, second rower, and he would be in a lot of teams in the NRL. But we just had some really incredible depth in that position, and we've got some young guys coming through as well. But yeah, I was gutted. I love Curran. He's been such he's just been kind of like such a warrior. I think I've said it before on the podcast. He obviously loves the club. I don't know if you saw his he did like a Facebook post. Read through it before. It almost brought a tear to my eye. Because you could hear it in his you could hear what he was saying. Like how much the club meant to him. I think he'd been here since 2019, maybe.
Yeah.
Sort of came over for, the Warriors gave him a chance, and he took it with two hands, and he gave so much to the club. So he'll be massively missed. I hope we don't kick ourselves in the bum a bit much there. Just with the fact we've got rid of Serena as well, doesn't mean we've got a couple of. I think we've got 2 free slots for next season, so it'll be interesting to see who they pick up there. But all the best to them. Off to the doggies.
Yeah,
how many years is time for? Do you know?
I think it was. It said a multi year. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many years.
I mean, I thought doggies would be all right this year, but maybe next year they'll be a little bit better than they have been the last.
It'll be at least 2 years. At least 2 years. I'm sure. But but I'm thinking that like you said, it's a big loss for us, and good luck to him because I thought he was outstanding. I would rather have him stayed, but fair enough. Good on him for choosing his future over over his preference, if that makes sense. Yeah. But I had a glimmer of hope that he was staying when I saw that the Warriors had come out with their new jersey, and to be honest, I don't know if people are going to hate me for this, but I actually don't really like the new jersey that much, to be honest.
So it's like this year's jersey, wasn't it? I did see it, but
it looks like the 2019 or 2020 jersey. When Roger was playing, it looks like that jersey. When they had when the V was more like rounded. I thought when I saw the away jersey, I was like, honestly, and I know a lot of people have been saying this. I've seen the comments. They thought it was Newcastle. This looks like a Newcastle jersey. Their away jersey looks really, really odd to me. And not trying to give crap to the Warriors because I love the Warriors, but I just didn't. I preferred the jersey that we had this year compared to what they've got there now. Don't know what you think. I can see that you're looking because your face is going forward.
Yeah, I'm just having a look now. The home jersey is fine, isn't it? It's pretty similar. The away jersey, is that the blue and white stripe one?
It's the one with the white jersey and the blue and white, the stripes on the sort of.
Yeah, it almost looks like an Auckland rugby jersey.
Yeah, but
the Auckland Rugby Union jersey. There's a really cool kind of alternative. Maybe it's just like a sort of polo sort of thing, which has got like blue on one side and then it's got like green, white, white, red stripes. So that could be one to add to the collection. But I mean, what's a Warriors jersey? There's been a few of them over the years. We'll have to maybe that's something we'll do in the off season. We'll rank our top 30 Warriors jerseys of all time. Because I don't know if you've seen the spin-off countdown that they get into it, and it's quite detailed.
Good call.
Some of the jerseys have been better than others over the years. I mean, I think that one's like not one of the best, but it's also not one of their worst. It's just some.
Oh yeah, I'm comparing it with the jersey that we've had for the last 2 seasons. I like the one with the whole, the more like the traditional V, the traditional V that league teams have. So I prefer that than the rounded one. But hopefully it works well. I mean, I haven't looked in the shop yet because I really want to buy some infant gear for my boy. So
wait till they're a bit older, bro. You'll get more use out of it.
Yeah, true. But I kind of want to annoy my wife with it as well because she's seeing my little boy with a Warriors little jumper on. It'll just she just it won't go down well. But you know what? These things have to be done. So that's the plan. But so I wasn't happy about the jersey. But anyway, as I was trying to say before, in the context of what I was trying to say is when they released the jersey, Josh Curran was in the promo, in the video promo.
Was he?
He was. So when people were seeing that, including myself, people were like, "Wait, he can't be leaving. Why would they put him in the video promo if he was leaving?" Which is a fair call. I mean, like of us again, both of us being confident and stuff. Like that's something you wouldn't do, would you? Normally, if someone was leaving, you wouldn't put them. But so I had a glimmer of hope that he was staying. But yeah, that hearts were broken today. Hearts were broken today when it was confirmed. So including mine. So
I know there's definitely some upset Warriors fans out there. He was definitely a bit of a a real crowd favorite, a real cult hero, So he definitely, I think he'll go down as someone who, gave a lot to the club and the fans had a lot of time for him. So all the best. I hope he does well, and I hope that the life at the Bulldogs isn't too sad for him.
No, well,
should have been sad with the way they've been playing the last few years. But they've got some good signs next season, the Bulldogs. So I think they've got.
They always do. They always do, but they never get.
They've re-signed Kiwis. They've got. I think they've re-signed. Oh no, Everillow's going. But they've got Crichton coming, obviously. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean. Oh, excuse me. But no, we'll see. I mean, they always sign good players on, but it doesn't really happen. Nothing really happens. But we'll see. I mean, it's just that I think that with Josh Curran, he was not just like a good player, but like as we say, he's a fan favorite. So someone that he was good for marketing, that sort of thing. He was good for marketing and stuff like that. But I hope maybe we'll try and get him on one time and talk about the Warrior stuff. So and see how it was, because obviously he loved it at the end. He's got no grudges. He holds no grudges and stuff. So it's really, like you said, good luck to him. But
Josh, if you're listening, Josh, we'll happily have you on the podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Might have to make a little call to the Bulldogs media team over there. So might have to do that. Yeah, but the other big news out of the Warriors camp is Webby is signed on for what, 2008, is it? 2028, sorry?
28, yeah. And they already had him till the end of 2025. So they already had him for 2 more years, and they're saying, hey, let's double down on that. So I think Webby said he wants to be here for life, basically. So hey, if we keep putting on performances like we did last year, then we'll have him around. It seems like, I don't know. I suppose being a Warriors fan, we've just got used to kind of recycling through coaches, once every 2 years. I hope it doesn't happen. I think with Cooney, we kind of re-signed him, and then maybe even later that season got rid of him. But I think that it seems like there's a real culture at the club that Andrew Webster's bought, the form this year was just to go from 14th to a game away from the grand final is spectacular. The fact that they've got rid of Curran and Saranen makes me think they must have something planned. They must have some people lined up, potentially.
Yeah.
Or they've got some young guys that they really want to, nurture and save maybe be able to afford, like save some money for next season, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But
where do you think we're lacking in the Warriors?
I would say centres, but I suppose with Roger coming, probably not anymore. And we've still got, Pompey and Berry can both. It'll be interesting to see who, if they do go start with Roger in centres, whether Berry or Pompey keep their spot. There's obviously been a lot of talk about that. If we were to, we've got, a good hooker. We've got 2 good hookers. We've got 3 or 4 good front rowers. We've got plenty of good middle forwards, probably second rowers now. Now that we've got Suranen and Karen, obviously we've got Jackson Ford and Neil Corey, and what other second rowers have we got? Must be some young.
Mitch Barnett will probably play in the front row. Who else have we got there? Well, that's a good question. Obviously, my mind's just gone blank.
I feel there's at least one more. There must be at least one more. It might be like one of the young fellas they're sort of bringing through. And then halves were good. Obviously, good outside. But probably just an extra centre would be nice, and then a second row or 2. So pretty good. The depth in the squad's the best we've had in a very, very long time.
Like you said, it's not just the fact that he's bringing W's to the Warriors. It's also the fact that he's changed the culture a lot within the Warriors environment, and that's a big thing. For example, like Tamati Allison, for example, Wellington Lions rugby coach. So working there with Tamati, not only was he an amazing coach for the team. I know it's a different sport and everything, like that, different level, but he brought a lot of good things to the team environment. Like, for example, every time I saw Tamati at our headquarters and stuff, he would always come and greet you. He would come and shake your hand. He would make sure you come and shake hands with everybody. He doesn't just walk past you. He says hi and everything. He greets you and acknowledges you. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is just I'm saying that it sort of feels like that's what because what Tamati did at Wellington rugby is kind of what I feel like what Webster's done at the Warriors. Like he's changed the culture in the environment where everyone's actually happy. Everyone's happy and stuff, and that kind of thing plays a big part in how you play. Week in, week out. When you're in a good, healthy, happy environment, and you want to play for each other, it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's why I think the Warriors had no issue of no hesitation to sign him on until 2028.
They don't want to lose him as well. They would. I'm sure there'd be a few clubs out there that wouldn't mind having him there. So the fact that the Warriors have said, "Hey, we'll keep you for another 3 years," and hopefully, providing results go our way, he could be the next, Bellamy or Wayne Bennett or Trent Robinson. Like just starting a blooming a dynasty. Well, I don't know if you'd say dynasty. Cleary as well.
I thought you were doing a pun because of the New Jerseys. And the New Jersey maker. So I thought you were doing a bit of a pun there, but yeah.
Well, it might not be a coincidence, Maybe that's the reason for it all. We've given was it Puma last year? Yeah, was that?
Puma, yeah.
Give the flack.
Yeah. Any other news coming out of the Warriors camp?
Nah, not that I can think of. I'll just probably keeping an eye on those extra 2 spots for me. If I was to guess, I reckon we might have a decent. There's no one really on the market, is there? But we might have a young second row coming through, which would be exciting, So, I'm just trying to think what other second rowers are in the squad last year. Must have been heaps.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be once this Rugby World Cup's over. There's obviously still a few more weeks of cricket. But it's going to be a bit sad not having too much sport on.
No, and that's what I need. I need sport to keep me going. But yeah. So I guess we'll have to keep monitor things and maybe come back because we don't have a plan at the moment on the off season here right now. But as soon as the NRL 2024 season starts to get some noise, we'll jump back in there and we'll start doing our thing right here at Couch Coaches and stuff like that.
I still want to do the 4-part off-season series about the origin of Up the Wires, but I don't know whether we've got the content for that. But I'm working on it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. More than happy to
bring a few special guests in to help us find the origins of it, because I feel like it's died down the Up the Wires, but I feel like there's definitely still a there's still a bit of
But didn't they find the origin? Didn't they find the origin of it though? Like, because they someone brought it up, and I remember because I actually remember listening to this. Because like when you say Up the Wires, for example, like back in the day before Up the Wires came into fruition, I used to say like up the Black Caps, up the Warriors, up the All Blacks. I would say things like that on my social media posts and things like that. It was just a common phrase. It was a common phrase.
But it was Up the Wire, Up the Wires in particular. It was
the wires part. Yeah, I got it. But it's like I remember listening to my FM when someone said wires. I remember it because they showed it. They showed it saying this is where it was all birthed, and I was just like, I actually remember watching that, but I didn't take no notice of it because I thought it was stupid at the time. And I still,
did you know?
No.
Little did you know it become a movement.
Little did I know, but I was going to say, little did you know John will actually get hooked on it, but I'm not really 100% hooked on it. I'll say it, I'll say it a couple of times. I said it in Sydney when I was there. I was in Sydney before you got to Sydney, and it was really hot. And I'll be wearing my Warriors jersey proudly around Sydney, and I got a lot of Up the Wires when I was there, so that was good. And plus, the thing is, not all of them weren't even Warriors fans. That was the good thing about it.
That was it. I had fans from all sorts of clubs coming up to me when I was walking around in my Warriors jersey at the Grand Final, just saying, "Oh, you reckon you'll be here next year?" It was a real. Everyone was getting behind them. It was great.
Yeah, there's a like now that the Hurricanes are starting to preseason starting to happen soon. Like, is there a catchphrase that I could use in the stuff that I'm doing there? So. Because I can't really think
for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, think of one right now. Can you think of one off the top of your head?
Me and my friends used to always say "Up the swirl."
Yeah, we're using it at the moment. Yeah, join the swirl. Join the swirl.
You've stolen that from me and my friends, I think. Yeah, so
it's already been used. It's already been used.
But you can say "Up the swirl."
Up the swirl.
Up the swirl. Right. Yeah.
Up the swirl.
Yeah. I think that's your answer.
That's it.
That'll be the next movement for next season.
Yeah, we've been using it. We've been using not Up the swirl. We've been using Join the swirl. I think we've been using so. Yeah. So you're claiming that we stole it?
Yeah, absolutely. It was at a Hurricanes game back in 2016. I think me and a group of friends were there, and we started Up the swirl, go the swirl.
Up the swirl.
It's taken off from there.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, I think that's us for tonight.
Right.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything from All Blacks, Black Caps, Kiwis to the Warriors, and it's always good to come back and have a big yarn with you, mate. So until next time, thanks everyone again for listening to us. Remember to subscribe, and we'll let you know when we're back on board with more episodes. For now, sayonara.
Choo-choo.
Forgot about that.